Hi, this is Fran from Training Kings, and delighted to have Dave Spencer with me today for our interview. So welcome, Dave.
Thank you. It's good to be here.
Brilliant. Do you want to start by sharing a little bit about who you are and what you do?
Sure. So, my name's David Spencer. I am the owner of Chase Outdoors, Pie Green Caravan Storage, and of a campsite called Chase Camping, which was just set up. So, what we do, we provide storage for leisure vehicles across Staffordshire. We provide camping and caravan equipment from a site in Cannock. We provide camping and caravan equipment at Christian conferences across the country, and we've just set up a new venture of just having a little campsite in the middle of Cannock Chase.
Wow. So you're quite busy?
It keeps me very busy, yeah.
But it sounds like there's a big camping and outdoor theme to your businesses.
Yeah, I think it was just, at one point, it was seeing what the gap in the market was. So we identified that loads of people were getting caravans. The recession had just hit, less people going abroad, more people buying caravans. I didn't know anything about caravans at the time, but I had access to a piece of land.
Yeah.
And that land, a lot of it was heathland and needed stuff doing to it, and we managed to get planning permission, and we filled up the space we had in 9 months. And we thought, wow, this is good. So then after a year, we doubled the size of it, and we filled that up in another 6 months. And then we try to get a few more bays in it, and we're always full. So it's been a great sort of base business for us to grow other things onto.
Oh, brilliant. So it wasn't the case that 10 years ago you decided that you were going to have a camping business and you started it from that point. It more evolved, would you say?
Well, I had a middle class plan. And that went I went to a grammar school where everyone went to university.
Yeah.
So I didn't go to university because God challenged me to get into youth work. There was very little Christian youth work in my town. So I said, all right, God, I will do that. I had no guarantee of a job. I'd abandoned my 5-year plan that I had as a teenager. And at the same time, instead of going to university and studying business management, I had the chance to let's try and start a small business.
Sure.
That was tough, hard work for 9 months. There was no salary. It was working all day, just learning how to drive a digger and dumper trucks and building a site. And I think we had a £15 a week marketing budget to try and tell people about it. But I learned so much in that time.
Fantastic! Wow. So really, you're starting at at the grassroots and working your way up.
Yeah.
And are you enjoying the journey?
I've loved the journey. I think sometimes when you can overcome problems, or as the world would see, that you've got nothing to show for what you've done, to suddenly say, well, actually, God's done this with me. That's been really good. What I really loved was going into business with my wife. Now, not everybody can go into business with family, okay? Sure. But she'd finished university with a degree in criminology and psychology. She was going to join the police, and I said, well, why don't you instead come into business with me? So we had £2,000 of savings we put into camping and caravan stock. Sure. And we filled up 2 or 3 shelves with that £2,000 worth and it didn't look impressive at all, but from that £2,000 we now stock 2,000 products, and last year we had a customer base of over 11,000 people making use of us. So I've loved that transition over the years to get to there. Yeah,
wow. And what do you think has been your greatest challenge of running your businesses?
Ooh, there's so many. When the recession really hit, we went for a quick time from having a waiting list of 20 people to 20 empty spaces on our storage site. Okay. So we got into this rhythm of relying on a steady business. We almost took it for granted. So suddenly and very quickly we had to think, hang on a second, we need to make sure that everybody we connect with, even if we can't offer them business now, they'll be coming back to us, or we can keep with them. So that was certainly a challenge. In the early days, working with very little money, plodding on, all through the rain and just building a site in mud, that was tough for a 20-year-old. But yeah, I've loved those challenges, and I think
Brilliant.
sometimes they weather you, but other times you come out all the stronger and all the wiser because of it.
Yeah, absolutely. And in terms of, stronger and wiser, what are some of the key lessons you've learnt from those particular challenges, would you say?
Work less, pray more.
Work less, pray more.
Yeah. So it is invaluable that I have a meeting. I call it a meeting with myself, but actually it's like my meeting with myself and God, really. And that's often over breakfast. So we have breakfast together, and a time, in working hours, if you like, where really you're praying over and seeking what are you doing with business, what's the plan, and put together the important things, and just being somewhere where it's harder for staff and customers just to contact you for a couple of hours, and just to have that every week, that has been invaluable to me. The fruit of those 2 hours is brilliant every week.
Wow, so definitely worthwhile, that time investment, when you're going to reap so much from it as well.
Yeah, that's very much so.
Yeah, and someone, as a Christian who runs their own business, can you give an example of where maybe you've really known God to speak very directly in the area of your business and your business decisions?
So many. We have we provide premises for the Cannikin District Food Bank. So when that's set up, we're a little bit a part of it, and it needed a warehouse, so we had a building in our storage compound, and we said, let's renovate that. Let's make that the premises. We were able to have one young man who started on a weekend, just working 5 hours for us. He went to do his apprenticeship with us, to move full time with us. We started sharing him with a charity, and now he's the manager of that charity. Those transitions are brilliant.
Yeah.
To another time, a guy came up to buy a gas bottle from me. He'd carried a gas bottle for about half a mile, an empty one, and then it was, he had a full one to take back, and he looked at me like, there's no way. I said, don't worry, I'll give you a lift. And he lived just by me.
Okay.
And then he didn't have enough money he was like short of £1. I said, don't worry about it. He said, no, I'll bring it round.
Yeah.
But while we were talking, I was talking about the church I went to and the work we do. And he came back to me that night to give me that £1 at my house.
Oh.
And he was saying, I really want to get involved with what you do. And we're friends now. He sometimes helps me out with a little bit of work in business, but he comes to our church, he supports what we do. So just I'm not a natural evangelist, but I think always being prepared to give a hope of what lies in is really important in business. And we can't draw lines on that. I know business, you could say that's not a charity, but you've always, you're an ambassador wherever God puts you.
Absolutely, yeah. And that makes so much sense, because you are who you are throughout your life. And I think the beauty of running your own business is that perhaps in some industries, we've perhaps seen in the press quite, in the last couple of years, where Christians have been called out and put on disciplinary for sharing their faith because of the the environment and the context. Whereas when it's your business, there's, I guess, more liberty to do that, isn't there?
Totally. If you go onto our site, we start with prayer every day.
Yeah.
And why not?
Absolutely.
Why not? Why, I don't believe there's a law that stops you. We don't force people, but let me tell you, those who aren't Christians like to sit in on that prayer time.
Excellent.
Yeah.
That's so wonderful to hear. Thanks for sharing that story. And obviously, you and I met through Training Kings.
Yeah.
And how did you first hear about Training Kings?
So I think it was a video playing on Facebook to me that kept reminding me. It was an interesting journey, because I had found a document from my dad, who'd been in business for a number of years, and it referred to him going to a Christian networking thing in the 80s.
Okay.
And I tried looking up this Christian networking organisation to find that it didn't really exist anymore. I found one group of it still met in Wales somewhere, and I was like, oh, that's a bit sad. And I thought I'd really love to be around other Christian business people.
Yeah.
And then I think one of your promo videos just kept showing me about Training Kings, and then I thought I would go. Then I was too busy, because we have busy times a year, and eventually I think it was your one in Wolverhampton. I just showed on up one morning and I said, I've never been to business networking at all. Hello, I'm Dave. And that was it.
And the rest is history.
Yeah.
And what have you found the experience to be, being a member of Training Kings?
I've really loved the encouragement. I think having an additional time of just focusing at business from a Christian point of view has been really valuable to me. I've loved the speakers. I've loved some of the insights. Like, yes, I did business studies at A level, but having that extra insight, from people just reminding you and training you and just highlighting things to you. Like, I've had people say things to me that have just resonated for weeks.
Oh, wow.
But I've just heard them say a sentence to me, and I've just thought over it and over it and over again, and that's been really valuable. And like last week when I went to Training Kings, we were just about to start our open day, which is the start of the camping and caravan season, and I was able to say, guys, will you pray for me?
Yeah.
And leader Darren was able to lay his hand on me and pray for me for wisdom, because when you're investing significant amounts of money into stock and people are relying on you for their income and their future, and there is a certain you can feel a weight on your shoulders.
Isn't it?
Yeah, you want a business to grow, but there's always these small risks, and you want them to be wise and well thought out, and ultimately you want God to be glorified and to be in the middle of what you do. So having just some people who got your back, that's been the main thing I've got from it.
Excellent, thank you. And I think it's good. I always say that sometimes business can be going fantastic, but you always need that encouragement, don't you? And you need the support as well.
Absolutely.
So, brilliant. And if there's someone out there who's never been to a Christian business network, what can you tell them that they can expect?
Okay, so I'm a cynic when it comes to meetings. I am not looking for more meetings. I've tried to cancel out meetings in my life. I went to Training Kings and I was encouraged. And I said, okay, I'll go again. Just on the off chance I'm encouraged again. And I was really encouraged. And I said, and then I had a time away, and then I sneakily came back again. I think you're only meant to come twice without becoming a member. But then I came back and I said, all right, if I'm encouraged again, I'm going to become a member. Yeah. And every single time I came, I just found it it was growing me. I was not looking for another thing to put in my diary, but because I found it so added to me and helped me in that way, just the fellowship of like-minded people has been brilliant.
Yeah, fantastic.
Yeah, so, if you're like me, you're not into meetings, you're not looking for another thing, just do what I did. I said, all right, I'll go, I'll give it a try. Yeah. And I don't believe I've come across anyone who's gone there certainly no one said to me who's been there, I didn't like that. Everyone's leaving with a smile on their face, which is good.
Excellent, thank you. Thanks so much for sharing. I guess just as we come to a close, what are your plans for future business?
Well, the plans, so I always have goals. I think they're more based around things I'm trying to achieve through business. So I want to set up a missionary retreat centre, because the joy of our business is we were able to leave it for 5 months and leave it running while we were chaplains of a missionary ship.
Oh wow.
And we made so many friends who are missionaries. We want to make a place where missionaries can just have a time of respite. And, so I'm trying to achieve that for our business, through the profits of that, that's something that's important to us. We're growing what we do, so we're trying, we're supplying most of the larger Christian festivals with camping and caravan equipment now, which is excellent. We've got plans to renovate the buildings where our shop is based, and but also doing that, so we renovate the buildings for our church and the food bank and things like that in the same premises, which kind of let's take the overheads away from the church. Let's cut the bureaucracy side of things out and let the business pay for that. So the money that the church gets goes into mission and to ministry, and that's important. So I want that to grow, and and I want to grow people. I love it when I see people go from here to here. That's a huge thing for me. So brilliant. Those are my aims.
Excellent. Sounds good, and we do pray and wish you definitely all the best. And
thank you.
I think that it really reminds me that this is the beauty of having Christians in business, and they, who are successful, because it's never just for themselves and their own business and their family. It's always for the kingdom, and actually to pour back into other really valuable and worthwhile causes. So. Excellent. That's why we need more Christians in business, right?
Amen. Yeah.
Excellent. Okay. Well, thanks so much once again, Dave, and have a great day.
It's a pleasure.
Bless you. Bye.